My name is Amy Faulkner, and I'm going to talk a little bit about myself here and also about what this course is all about. I have a slightly unusual background, but I think it plays very nicely into this class. It's not at all linear. So when I graduated from college, I thought I wanted to be a reporter. So I went out and I was a sports writer for a while. It was great. I love sports. I will tell you, though, that I made $12,000 a year, and mostly I froze to death outside covering football games. So I thought, well, I'm pretty good at this writing gig. Maybe there's something else I should try. So I went back and I got my master's in magazine journalism. And it's really not unlike what probably some of you are doing right now. I had a growing family. My kids at the time were 1 and 2, and I was trying to get my master's at the same time. When I was finishing that up, I was very fortunate to get a fellowship at the Poynter Institute. And this is a big think tank in terms of the newspaper industry. And the fellowship was in media management and entrepreneurship. So I spent 10 weeks learning all about that. And when I came back to the newspaper business, I said, well, what if I want to be a publisher someday? How would I do that? And I decided, well, I probably need to learn something about advertising. So I interviewed with a bunch of newspapers, and I totally confused the newspaper editor and the head of the advertising department. And essentially, the HR person called me in and said, we want to hire you. You have to tell me right now, do you want to sell ads or do you want to write stories? Now, at this point, I had sold nothing in my career other than Girl Scout cookies. But I decided to take the plunge, and I went into advertising. Fortunately, I was salesperson of the quarter my first quarter out, which was great, but I lost my calculator 3 times, which was not so great, but eventually I learned how to do it. And in the end, my editorial background came back into play because I ran an entire sales team and an editorial team. At some point late in my career, I was asked to teach a class in retail advertising, and I was kind of nervous about it, but I started as an adjunct, and now, 18 years later, I'm still at Syracuse University. So I have been teaching a long time. I'm also the Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. What that means for you is I oversee all teaching at our school. And that's really what I care about. Newhouse stands for great teaching. Now, I have been honored to be the first person in the history of the Newhouse School to win the Teacher of the Year award twice. Now, I'm very humbled by that, but what is most important to me about that is that award is voted on by students. So I feel like I am a good teacher, and I feel like my students learn a lot. Now, you should know my reputation is I am tough but fair, and I very much want you to be successful. But that means I'm probably going to push you to do more than maybe you think you can. Now, I do have confidence that you can actually do it. So it's going to be a lot of hard work, and you're going to learn all about the media business because that's the way the course is structured. Now, it's important, I think, because I came from the sales side but worked with agencies, that you understand those different perspectives of this business. So you're going to go through a couple of different projects that are going to let you work from things from that perspective. You're going to be a media seller, you're going to be a planner and a buyer, and you're going to have a lot of career options after taking this class. One thing I hope you will get out of this class is an appreciation for all the elements that go into making a media campaign that is really relevant to consumers. That's what we want. We don't want to be just annoying advertisers. We want to send messages that consumers can actually use. So for me, this is my favorite class. I love teaching this class. And I could easily get buried in a bunch of administrative stuff, but what fun would that be? To me, media is fun. It's actually what people talk about all the time. You talk about your television shows. You talk about what's on Facebook. You're trying to figure out, ooh, did you see that thing on Snapchat? That's what people talk about all the time. What you're going to know is the business side of it. So I'm going to be expecting that you will dazzle your family and you're going to impress your friends with all your newfound knowledge about media. You will actually know how much things cost and how it works. Now, for you to do well in this class, you need all parts of your brain. You're going to need a lot of stamina and, honestly, a lot of coffee. So I'm expecting you to use both parts of your brain. That's the analytical side and the creative side. I don't want media planners who just do math. You have to be creative. Yes, you can absolutely do it. So you do the math piece, but you also need to think like the consumer that you're trying to reach, and that requires some critical thinking. You need to be persuasive, quick on your feet, you need to be able to voice your opinion, and in advertising, you have to play well with others. Teamwork is a key part to this business. So for you to be successful, and I know you can do it, if you have all those elements, you'll be well on your way to being great in the media business.